Somewhere right now, in the quiet chambers of heaven, a decision is being made that will alter the course of your life forever. Names are being spoken, paths are being measured, assignments are being weighed. And in the middle of it all, her name is being chosen for you. She is not just any woman. She is not the product of chance or coincidence. She is the one heaven has appointed, the one whose presence will unlock chapters of your destiny that you cannot access alone. But listen carefully. This is not the time to move. This is not the moment to search, to chase, or to force. The signal has not yet been given, and if you act before it, you risk colliding with the right person in the wrong season and losing what was meant to be sacred. This choice is not made by human standards. It's not about what the world would call perfect. It's about eternal alignment, divine timing, and the kind of spiritual pairing that shakes the very ground beneath your feet. You're not just being matched with a heart, you're being aligned with a mission. So stay still, stay watchful, and prepare for the moment when heaven says, now. Because when that signal comes, nothing, no delay, no doubt, no demon, will be able to stop it. Like this video right now, subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment 99 below, because 99 is the number of the sheep the shepherd left the 99 for. The reminder that heaven pursues you personally, and this choice is proof of it. There are moments in heaven when the atmosphere shifts, when angels pause their assignments, when scrolls are unsealed, when the eternal clock strikes a precise moment only heaven understands. This is one of those moments. Somewhere beyond the veil of your sight, the hidden council of heaven is in session, not a meeting of opinions, but a gathering of divine certainty. It is here that your name and her name are being placed side by side, not because of emotion, not because of human reasoning, but because of something far deeper. God is weighing character. God is weighing timing. God is weighing purpose. This decision is not about attraction or convenience. It is about the collision of two destinies that, when joined, will ignite something so powerful that the enemy has been plotting for years to prevent it. Understand this. Heaven never chooses lightly. A kingdom pairing is not built on fleeting feelings. It is written into the eternal strategy of God's plan. She is not just a partner. She is a co-architect of the mission you were born for. And right now, she is being shaped in secret. Just as you are being refined through tests, she is walking through her own hidden preparation. Her character is being strengthened. Her faith is being forged in fire. Her steps are being ordered so that when the two of you meet, the connection will not just be emotional, it will be prophetic. You may have already passed by her without realizing it. She may have been just another face in a crowd, someone who didn't yet stand out to you, because the time was not yet right for heaven to unveil her. Or she may still be a stranger whose name has never touched your ears, but whose spirit is already connected to yours in a place your mind cannot reach. The threads are already woven, you just haven't seen the tapestry yet. This is why you must understand the weight of the moment. The decision being made is not a human choice, it is a divine alignment. And in alignment, timing is everything. Heaven does not just consider who she is, it considers when she will be ready, when you will be ready, when the world around you will be in the perfect position for your connection to have maximum impact. There is a ripple effect to your union. Families will shift, territories will be claimed for the kingdom, enemies will lose ground they thought they owned. This is not just romance, this is a spiritual strike against darkness. And this is why the enemy is restless right now. He senses movement in the courts of heaven. He cannot stop the decision, but he can attempt to distract, to confuse, to distort your vision before the unveiling. That is why the waiting feels heavy. That is why you feel the strange tension of knowing something is coming, yet having nothing in your hands to confirm it. Heaven often works in silence before releasing the sound of victory. Picture it. Her life and yours moving in seemingly separate paths, yet guided by the same unseen hand, slowly drawing closer. Doors are closing in her world that don't make sense to her. Certain people are being removed from your life with no explanation. These are not random events. These are the final alignments being set in place for an encounter that has been written in the book of life since before you were born. And when the seal is broken, when heaven speaks the word, there will be no mistaking it. You will know without striving, without forcing. Something in your spirit will confirm, this is the one heaven chose. But until then, you must guard your patience as if it were treasure, because impatience can make you reach for what looks similar, but lacks the anointing. You are standing on the edge of a moment that will rewrite your story. The council has convened. The decision is near. And somewhere out there, she is moving through her day, completely unaware that heaven is about to change everything. The signal is not here yet, but when it comes, your life will never be the same. There is a danger so subtle, so easily overlooked, that even the most discerning chosen ones can fall into it. The danger of moving before the signal. It's not about chasing the wrong person. It's about reaching for the right person at the wrong time. And the truth is, the wrong time can be just as destructive as the wrong person. Timing is not a detail in God's plan. It is the foundation on which the plan stands. The right seed planted in the wrong season will not produce life. It will wither in the soil, no matter how pure the seed is. Think of Joseph. He had the dreams. He had the calling. He even had glimpses of what God was going to do. But if Joseph had stood before Pharaoh in the first year of his prison sentence, instead of after the full refining process, he would have lacked the wisdom to interpret the dream and the strategy to save a nation. The right destiny was waiting, but the wrong timing would have destroyed it. Or look at David. Anointed as king while still a shepherd boy, he had the oil on his head, but no throne beneath his feet. If David had taken matters into his own hands, killing Saul when he had the chance, he could have seized the position prematurely. But he would have missed the process that forged his character into a king after God's own heart. That's what many don't realize. Heaven's signal is not just about permission, it's about alignment. When God says wait, it's not because he is withholding, it's because he is weaving. He is preparing circumstances, softening hearts, closing old doors, and clearing pathways you cannot see. Move too soon, and you might encounter her while her heart is still healing from wounds God intends to fully close before she meets you. Or you may find her while you are still carrying habits or vulnerabilities that would strain the connection heaven intends to bless. And here is where it becomes dangerous, when your emotions start to whisper, "What's the harm in stepping forward just a little early?" That's how destinies get tangled. A premature move can spark a connection that feels right, but cannot withstand the storms that were meant to come after both of you were fully prepared. You can be drawn to her spirit, and she to yours, but without the divine timing, the relationship becomes a battlefield of unhealed wounds and unfinished growth. This is why the signal matters. The signal is heaven's way of saying, both of you are ready now, not just to meet, but to last. It's the moment when what was being built in silence suddenly aligns with what is about to be revealed. Until then, every day of waiting is a shield protecting the both of you from a version of your union that would fail before it ever reached its fullness. And let me be clear, your enemy knows this truth better than most believers. He would rather see you rush into something almost right than wait for the thing that is truly yours. Why? Because almost right still has enough cracks for him to slip through. The counterfeit can look convincing, feel intense, and even carry some traits you've been praying for. But it will never have the weight of heaven's seal. And once you've entangled your heart prematurely, it becomes far harder to walk away when the real thing finally arrives. I need you to hear this. Obedience in waiting is not passive. It is active warfare. Every day you choose not to move without the signal, you are protecting what God is aligning. You are telling heaven, I trust you more than I trust my own understanding. I trust your timing more than I trust my desires. That kind of faith not only preserves your destiny, it strengthens it. So the next time impatience grips your heart, the next time you feel the urge to take just one step forward without instruction, remember this. Even the right face in the wrong season can cost you everything heaven is building. Stand still until the signal comes. Because when it does, it will not be a whisper of uncertainty. It will be a thunderclap of confirmation, and nothing will be able to stop what God has joined together. And right now, you are closer to that moment than you think. Every day you wait is not an empty day. It is a day of forging, a day of shaping, a day of preparation that heaven refuses to rush. The refining of the chosen one is never casual. It is intentional, precise, and unshakably necessary. If God were to send you into a divine union without first sharpening you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, He would be sending you into a battlefield without armor. And heaven does not send unprepared vessels into holy assignments. The truth is, you are not being ignored. You are being refined. Every prayer you've prayed in the secret place, every trial you've endured in silence, every night you've wondered why the answer hasn't arrived yet. All of it is part of a divine process that will make you unstoppable together when the time comes. God is not merely preparing you to meet her. He is preparing you to keep her, protect her, and build with her in a way that glorifies Him. Refining is not glamorous. It is not the stage with the spotlight. It is the hidden workshop where the raw metal of your character is placed in the fire again and again. The heat strips away impurities, burning off the habits, fears, and weaknesses that could sabotage your destiny. Every conflict you've had to face alone, every temptation you've had to resist, every season where you've had to stand firm without applause, these are not punishments. They are the fires that shape kings and warriors. Think of a sword. Before it can be used in the hands of a skilled warrior, it must be beaten, folded, and plunged into the fire repeatedly. The process is violent, but it is necessary. If you skip it, the blade will shatter in battle. And God will not risk your destiny on a blade that cannot endure. Right now, He is making sure your faith will not crack under pressure, your love will not grow cold in adversity, and your purpose will not waver when the fight comes. This refining is not just spiritual, it is emotional and mental too. You are learning how to handle conflict without letting pride win. You are learning how to lead without controlling, how to serve without losing yourself, how to speak life instead of reacting in anger. These skills will not suddenly appear when she arrives. They are being forged in you now, in the very moments you are tempted to believe nothing is happening. And here is the beautiful, humbling truth. Heaven trusts you enough to hold you back. That's not rejection, it's recognition. God looks at you and sees what He is building. He knows that when the refining is complete, you will be a fortress for her spirit, a steady place for her heart, a partner who can walk through fire without breaking. This is why the weight is so fierce, because what you are carrying is so valuable. The refining also protects the union itself. A divine pairing is not about two incomplete people trying to fill each other's gaps. It is about two complete, prepared, and sharpened vessels coming together to multiply their impact. God will not let you meet her in a half-formed state, because your assignment together will demand more than half strength. You are being forged into a man who will not just love her, but guard the mission you will share. You might not feel it now, but every test you pass, every temptation you overcome, every lesson you learn in this season is adding weight to your spirit, weight that will anchor you when the winds come. The enemy will try to convince you that the refining means God has forgotten you. But the opposite is true. He refines what He intends to use greatly. So hold your ground. Keep your sword in the fire until the master smith says it is ready. Because the moment the refining is complete, the release will be swift, undeniable, and unstoppable. And when you stand before her for the first time, you will realize that every tear, every test, and every silent season was not wasted. It was the very thing that made you ready. And right now, you are closer to that readiness than you have ever been. There will come a point when the air around you feels different, when the stillness you've grown accustomed to begins to hum with an invisible energy. This is not your imagination. This is the slow, deliberate approach of the signal. And though heaven will never announce the exact moment until it's time, it often leaves markers along the path, subtle prophetic signs that whisper, "Get ready." One of the first is a sudden acceleration in your purpose. Things that felt stagnant for months, even years, will begin to move quickly. Doors that once refused to open will swing wide with no explanation. Opportunities will appear in unexpected places, perfectly aligned with your calling. This isn't random. It's heaven clearing the runway for a major landing. Before God sends someone into your life who will walk your mission with you, He will make sure that mission is in motion. You may find yourself stepping into new levels of influence, receiving resources you didn't seek, or meeting people who propel you forward. This acceleration is a sign that the ground beneath you is being prepared to receive her. Another marker is divine confirmation in prayer. You will notice your spirit being drawn into deeper intercession, sometimes without fully understanding why. Specific scriptures may come alive in your heart, not once, but repeatedly, as if God is circling the same truth until you can't ignore it. Dreams or visions may surface that carry a sense of clarity you can't shake. And while these moments might not reveal her name or face, they will align your heart with the reality that something significant is on the horizon. Heaven often uses prayer not just to prepare you, but to tune your spirit to the exact frequency of the signal, so when it comes, you'll recognize it instantly. Then there are the strategic alliances, relationships forming in unexpected places, with people whose presence seems almost too timely to be coincidence. A mentor you never sought out suddenly speaks into your life. A connection from years ago reappears with an opportunity that shifts your direction. A chance meeting turns into a long conversation that deposits wisdom you didn't know you needed. These are not distractions. They are puzzle pieces falling into place. Often these alliances have nothing to do with romance directly, yet they position you in the exact space where God's plan for your meeting will unfold. And perhaps the most mysterious, yet unmistakable sign of all, a shift in your inner peace. It is not a restless excitement, but a deep knowing that begins to rise in you without striving. You won't be frantically searching or scanning every face you see. Instead, there will be a settled confidence, a quiet readiness, as if your spirit is saying, "I'm close." The pressure to make things happen will vanish, replaced by a strange calm that feels like standing on the shore just before a great wave appears. This inner shift is heaven's way of assuring you that you no longer need to chase, because what is coming to you. And when the signal finally arrives, you will not need to guess. You will not need to force. You will not need to wrestle with uncertainty. It will feel like a holy summons, an undeniable pull in your spirit, a convergence of timing, confirmation, and peace so complete that your only response will be obedience. No striving, no fear, just the deep, unshakable knowing that heaven has spoken, and your next chapter is ready to begin. But until that moment breaks open, keep your eyes wide, your spirit tuned, and your steps steady. Because the signs are not random, they are the drum beats before the trumpet. And when that trumpet sounds, everything you thought you were waiting for will be standing right in front of you. Right before the real thing arrives, the battlefield will grow the most intense. You will feel the resistance, the noise, the strange disruptions that seem to come out of nowhere. This is not coincidence, it is strategy. Spiritual opposition always escalates when heaven's plan is close to breaking through. The enemy knows he cannot stop what God has already decreed, so his only remaining tactic is to distract you, tempt you, or send a counterfeit to occupy the space meant for the true appointment. Understand this. He does not need you to fall into open rebellion to derail your destiny. All he needs is to keep you busy enough, wounded enough, or entangled enough that when the signal comes, you're too fogged in spirit to recognize it. This is why the days leading up to a divine meeting can feel strangely chaotic, a sudden rush of attention from people who never noticed you before. old flames or toxic connections trying to re-enter your life with sweet words and false promises. Opportunities that look golden on the surface, but quietly pull you away from your mission. These are not blessings, they are bait, and the bait always comes dressed to impress. A counterfeit will often look close enough to the real thing to make you hesitate. She may speak the right words, share some of your values, and even feel like an answer to prayer. But underneath, there will be a hollow space where the anointing should be. A counterfeit can mimic appearance, but it cannot carry heaven's seal. And if you're not guarding your spirit, you could invest your time, your heart, and your focus into something that was only ever meant to be a decoy. This is why protecting the appointment requires discipline. Guarding your heart is not about building walls against love. It's about keeping your spirit clear enough to discern the difference between a divine signal and a seductive distraction. Keep your focus where it belongs, on your purpose, your assignment, and your communion with God. When your eyes are fixed on Him, the enemy's distractions lose their shine, refuse to settle. It is better to endure the discomfort of waiting than to live in the misery of being tied to the wrong thing. Settling will always cost you more than waiting. And here's the truth. If the enemy can't destroy you outright, he will work overtime to keep you so tangled in lesser things that you miss the greater thing when it arrives. He will try to make you think, this is close enough. This will do. But heaven does not deal in close enough. Heaven deals in precise, purpose-filled matches that advance the kingdom. So test every door before you walk through it. Ask God not just if you can move forward, but if this is the move He has been preparing you for. If there's confusion, hesitation, or an unease you can't shake, pause. The right thing, at the right time, will never require you to force peace into place. Your appointment is not just a meeting, it is a holy intersection where two lives, two callings, and two destinies merge under God's orchestration. That moment is too rare, too costly, to risk losing over a distraction. This is why you must keep your spirit light, your heart untangled, and your ears tuned. Because when the counterfeit fades and the signal finally comes, you won't just see her, you will know her. And every ounce of discipline you showed in protecting that appointment will have been worth it. And now, the stage is almost set. The true arrival is closer than it has ever been. The question is, will you be ready to step into it when heaven calls your name? You are standing on holy ground in time. Every second you have lived until now has been leading to a moment heaven has already written. The woman being chosen for you is not coming to fill an empty space. She is coming as a living answer to destiny. Her arrival is not a reward for waiting. It is a weapon forged for the mission you were born to carry. This is why you cannot